शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तः स्थमेश्वरम्।
The attitude of tither or the giver is very important. I have already explained in detail as what is the percentage to be offered to God and its justification according to various scriptures. I have also explained in detail about the usefulness of the tithing and how the tither gets multiplied many times more, and the laws of nature, particularly the law of infinity working in nature. And the whole universe is a giving universe. I have also explained in detail about how the spiritual development is related through selfless service and the importance of mind, its location, and how it influences on various planes of human personality. But the most important aspect in selfless service or service to God is the attitude of tither, attitude of that giver who offers the offerings to the spiritual mentor. There are three types of persons described in Vedas. Number one, the extrovert, so called in Hindi the Vishayi. The second are the aspirants, known as sadhaks, who are treading on the path of self-realization, a process to get freedom from sufferings. The third are the siddhas, or the spiritual enlightened persons. So if you have to give your offerings, they should not be for the extrovert persons or for the aspirants. The persons who are most nearer to God, they are your spiritual mentors, so-called gurus, from where you have been enlightened, from where you have developed your faith, and you put your money where you have faith. You are not going to put your money in that bank where you do not have the faith of security. So wherever you have your faith, you put your money over there. Similarly, you put your offerings to that place or person from where you have been enlightened, or from where you are getting the path to your self-realization to realize divinity within. Now, if you want to help those about you, do not use your tithes for that purpose. Smiley, the great spiritual teacher in America, in her book, The Bread of Life, mentions if you have feeling of helping to the poor, so you too will become poor. Always remember that you get back what you feel. The feeling of helping others shall certainly put you also in the situation when you need help. Thus Bible says, forget the word help from your memory. You can never help. You can serve, and serve to whom? To God. Because the God resides in all. Now there is a vast difference between the help and the service. The help is also known as dan. In Hinduism, the word dan has been brought for helping. In dan or help, the ego increases. If you give to help, the poor or to some religious places or to some social causes, then naturally your ego increases. And more ego increases, the more distant you are from your God. Because the ego is the only barrier between you and your God. Now in service, seva, the ego reduces. You have then humility. You feel that you are serving, then whom you are serving is much higher than yourself. The second difference is that the dan or the help can be of three categories as described by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. It may be satoguni, tamoguni, rajoguni. Whereas the God is beyond these three gunas. Thus in service, we transcend the gunas and thus we come nearer to God. Because as far as this feeling that you are serving God, it is none else than God. Then in help, you have a feeling of esteem. Whereas in the case of service, there is no competition. In dan, there is competition. You always want to be better than others who are giving in some religious places for helping the poor. So you want to place your name on the top of the list as far as possible. As far as the service is concerned, in that there is no competition. The help or dan is taking you extrovert, whereas the seva or service makes you introvert in nature. And introvert means more nearer to your being. Because in dan or help, you feel that you are helping the masses, the poor. Whereas in service, you feel that you are serving your God. So the service shall always take you nearer to God and help shall always take you away from your God. Ruskin says, the great philosopher from America, those who give second place to God, they give no place. The priority is very important. If the attitude is clear, then the priority is very important. When you offer, I remember a case. The person who used to tie 10% regularly, consistently, but not giving the priority. Then that person had a heart stroke. The arteries going to the heart, they were blocked. Why this happened? Because of non-priority in the offerings. When you go to the temple, you take some sweets to be offered to the God. The priest takes out some portion of that and then returns it back to you. Now it is known as prasad, the remainder after the offerings. That seems deemed to be more pious. It is not that you are eating while going to the temple and then you offer to God. First, it has to be offered to God. Thus, when you get the money, then the division at source is required to be done before making any expenditure. The first thing that you have to offer to God and then to your family members. Of course, the lion's share belongs to your relatives and family members. It is only 10% being offered to God, but that 10% has to have the priority. I remember once the great saint Ramakrishna Paramahansa asked Vivekananda, his great disciple, what was the purpose of your life? Vivekananda, then known as Narendra, his reply was to help the poor. Then he rebuked Vivekananda and he cried, is it that what I have told you all of so many years? Is this the lesson you have taught? You have got from me? You have learned from me? No, it is very important. The attitude is very important. How you can help the poor? It means you are unable to visualize God in those poor. It means you are not spiritually developed. The spiritual enlightenment means that you visualize your God in all. It is the immanent in all. Vedas, they proclaim, Isha vasamidam sarvam yat kinch jagatyan jagat. Ten tyakten bhunjita. Your God resides in all. The omnipresent, the omniscient, the omnipotent. Thus, you have to first offer to God, to that all-pervading God. Ten tyakten bhunjita. Vedas say that first you have to offer before enjoying the same fruits. Before every enjoyment, you have to make God as partner in that enjoyment by offering to God. First, ten tyakten bhunjita. You have to first offer before you enjoy. So whatever the money you have, you first have to offer to God, say 1/10, with this attitude that it is for God. It is not to help anybody. You see, spiritual development and social work is quite different. In social work, you develop your ego. I have done that, I have done that, I have done that. But in spiritual development, your ego reduces, you feel that you have served your God. Lord Rama says to Lakshman, when he defines the enlightenment, what it is, then he says, Gyan man jahan eko nahi, dekhen brahma saman sab mahi. The enlightenment means that you visualize one God in all. Oneness with the divinity. In help, it is never possible. The blind is different, the lame is different, the poor is different, the orphans are different. So you are unable to visualize God in all. And this attitude is most important for the tither or the giver. I quote another personality who used to help the poor, the society. He was the King Pratap Bhanu in Sri Ramchitmanas. He used to give day and night with the amazing spirit and extent. But because of the feeling of helping the poor and because of his ego, which kept on multiplying in every giving, in every help, in the next life, he becomes demon, the evil incarnation, the famous Ravana. Because of the attitude. And attitude is very important as far as the love of God is concerned. So if you offer to the place from where you have been getting your path of self-realization, there you cannot have even the tension of ego. And then you come nearer to that person who is taking you up to the spiritual horizons. And then also, because of reduction of ego, the main barrier between you and your God, you come nearer to that divinity. So in all the respect, whether you offer the money, your clothing, your food, from your time, we have to be very clear that the concept of help is not coming, it is only serving God. Now that could be intensified if you have the recitation of name of Lord, and the more meditative mind is. You see, meditation and name recitation shall improve the quality of your giving, the quality of your offerings. Bible is very clear in this regard when it says that it has to be offered to the place where you have been enlightened. It is holy unto Jehovah, and the rule still applies. In the Babylonians times, maybe Persians, Egyptians, even Chinese, they also used to practice this 10% from all their belongings, including cattle and crops, and they used to offer to their spiritual mentors without the feeling of helping any of the spiritual masters. They were just the offering to the service of masters. And then they developed their inner consciousness to higher and higher levels. You may be offering even a little amount. That is not very important, that how much you offer. If you have 10 rupees, 1 rupee offering to God is equivalent to that person who has 10 lakhs and is offering 1 lakh from that. It has to be strictly 10%. I have already explained in detail that why this 10% has been brought in most of the scriptures. But again I repeat that offering must have a proper attitude and the feeling of serving God. Ultimately it is the same God resides in all of us. The whole universe has willed the God in it. The God which has created, who has created this universe, the creation, and then entered into every particle of this creation. So the enlightened persons, they visualize that God in all. That is the omnipresent nature of the divinity. So while giving, one has to be very cautious that what the feeling is. And every time we have to watch our mind that how it is working. Instead of helping to poor, it must be serving to God.
Virendra Dikshit from Lucknow wants to know, it is good to serve, but should we stop helping poor?
It is not through pouring money you can make anybody happier. It is the change of the consciousness, the change of thinking and feeling by the path of spiritual realization. So, if you want to help anybody, you can always utilize your 90%. It is with you. But do not use your tithe for helping others. The tithe 10% has to be offered to the place from where you are spiritually connected. It is for your spiritual nourishment. It is the really bread of your life. As you eat the bread of your body, similarly this is the bread of your life. So this 10% has to be offered to that place for your spiritual development. And from 90% you can do whatever you wish. But keep in mind that as far as possible, the concept of help must eliminate, and the concept of serving, that should percolate in your whole personality. And then you should also practice visualizing God in all. But this is all possible if you keep on offering your 10% to your place of enlightenment.
Tap Seva Sumiran is a unique lifestyle for holistic development of human personality at physical, vital, mental, intellectual and spiritual planes. If you too want to change your life through Tap Seva Sumiran, you are welcome at our ashram or write at Badri Narayan Sevagram, Choti Panchli, Bagpat Marg, Meerut 25002.